Why don't dinosaurs talk?
I don't know.
Because they're all dead.
Fuck's sake.
Are
we okay with swearing?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh, there's
Okay.
There's
I always ask monetization.
no, absolutely fine.
Monetization.
Thors.
Good evening, Internet.
Welcome back to another episode of In the Doghouse, the podcast that makes you smile, the same smile you get when a woman hits you with Poundland pepper spray.
Is that a thing?
Disappointing.
I just shit. Like,
Ring the fucking
that's
bell.
not going to stop me.
Ring the bell. Right, buy the merch. It's on the website, or don't. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's really good shit, though.
There is good stuff on there. The main thing that's on there is the tickets to our charity auction. Get them now.
Now.
Get them while you can. It's starting to get to a point now where there isn't as many. We thought we had an unlimited amount of tickets. Turns out we are getting somewhere near to
the not so unlimited
not
amount.
so unlimited. So yeah, if you were thinking, oh yeah, I might go to that, or I'll get them at some point. No, just buy
Do it
them
now.
Buy them now. They're on the site. It's all profits are going to charity. It's the Motor Neurone Disease Association. My sister Gabs is running the London Marathon for Motor Neurone Disease. It's for my dead mum. Buy a ticket. Me and Marlon are going to be running the event. It's going to be great. We're going to be attempting...
You're not going to be running the marathon?
No.
No, have you seen the state of me?
Yeah, my flat feet prevent me from doing any exercise, apart from lifting a pint to my face. So myself and Marlon are going to be running the auction, which will be
some
hilarious.
Incredible lots in there.
Great lots. We've had some fantastic donations from all of you guys. It's going to be hilariously shit watching me and you try and...
Look, I'm halfway through my course now.
Of course.
They do online courses.
I've got a BTEC in fucking auction management.
It's highest education achievement.
Yeah, I think, I've got level 3. Yeah.
Sitting guilds, this one.
It's going to be great. Yeah, it's huge, great bar, hog roast, me, you, DJ, karaoke, a lot of charity event. It's going to be fantastic. Please buy tickets. Great cause, close to both of our hearts. So really appreciate it if you come, check it out, all that good shit.
Buy the tickets, don't be a fuckface peasant.
Exactly. Massive shout out to the Patrons. Guys, thank you so much for all your support, all your help last year. It's been incredible. We literally wouldn't be out here. We wouldn't be here. We always say this all the time, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and the sponsors keeping the show going.
That's it. It's no joke.
No, it's not like we're like, oh yeah, join the Patreon. Yeah, cheers. Like it's like small change. No. Like it's like you and the sponsors are what keep this going.
Yeah.
So massive shout out to you guys. You can join the Patreon from as little as £1.25 a month, all the way up to £6. If you join the top tier, you get 10% off the merch. It's hugely appreciated. The link to join is in the bio and in the description. Give what you can. If you can't give, fuck all. Don't worry about it. But whatever. We do appreciate it, and thank you for your continued support.
And one more thing.
When
you join the Patreon, each month you're automatically entered into the Pit Viper giveaway.
Ah, yes. Don't forget the Pit Viper giveaway. So yeah, end of this month. Don't know when this is. We're recording this way in advance because we actually want a Christmas this year. So
what is Christmas?
What is Christmas? Yeah, so I don't know when it'll be. Probably next episode will tell you. Just look at the last Friday of the month. That's when it'll be.
That tends to be when it is. Yeah.
So we'll be live on YouTube. Me and Marlon tit-assing about for an hour or so, fucking about, giving away Pit Vipers. Probably giving away more shit than we can afford to. But yeah,
Don't change the habit of a lifetime.
No, exactly. Yeah, don't be financially responsible with your podcast, Marlon Reg. That would be stupid.
Yeah, it would.
So join the Patreon, you fucking legends. Right. Anyway, Marlon, who the fuck are we joined by tonight?
Reg, this evening we are joined by the one, the only, Christopher Spry.
Hello.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on. I know it's been a bit of a journey for you. We've had a good day.
We've had a great day.
We've had a great day. Yeah, I know it's been a bit of a journey. And I think as soon as I heard you on another show, I was like, he's local, it's a hell of a story, and he's a fucking funny bastard.
No pressure, guys.
No. Bring the funnies.
Perform, monkey, perform.
That's fine. Probably the least professional show you'll ever come on. But no, thanks for coming down, man. Great, it's a pleasure, an honour to have you on the show. So let's just kick it off, Marlon, shall we?
Let's go.
Should we start with you? How's your week been, Marlon?
Busy, mate. Busy as usual. Land Rovers are shit. It's been a week from hell. Honestly, I'm not joking.
Short-staffed, overworked, underpaid.
You know the score.
All of the above.
Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and not just like, oh, we can fix that. Like, fucked. I gave up.
One of those.
About lunchtime on Friday, I just gave up. I had nothing left. Nothing at all.
That was just all of your brain power and all of your mechanical knowledge. Just
absolutely fried. Like everyone else in the trade will get this as well. Like you'll get to a point some days or some weeks where you just go, fuck off.
I can't do it no more.
I don't care. Your
done.
Land Rover's broken. I'm fucking done. Take your piece of shit and fuck off elsewhere.
But also, please buy a new one.
But also
stop buying them.
Yeah, continue to buy them so I can look after them when they're out of warranty. Yeah, that's it.
Don't bring. I'm excited for a break.
And there was me and Chris earlier in the car, just like, I just fucking love Land Rovers. I'm like, yeah, don't say it to Marlon. He's Land Rover tech. He hates the things.
Yeah, they're really good. Their oil pumps are really good. Just keep an eye on your oil pressure.
It's
still in warranty. Yeah, that's it.
Everyone knows what I think about Land Rovers, so I think they're fantastic.
Because you've joined a weird cult.
It is a bit of a weird cult, but
the dance you were doing around your Land Rover earlier was a bit weird.
It's like a weird rain dance, isn't it?
What was I doing? I was doing it.
Oh, you nun.
Throwing holy water on it and stuff like that.
Please do not break.
Coolant.
Don't do a head gasket.
I was just
DPF, please hold up.
Can you stop being so triggering, please? It's been a hard road to get to where
What
I am.
veg is it?
Turbo,
What veg
don't
is
shit
it?
yourself.
23.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's coming up for out warranty, isn't it?
I'm surprised they even offer a warranty on a cunt anymore.
Not that you can get parts anyway.
I feel personally attacked.
Welcome to jail.
I think I've got 3 waiting for DPFs at the minute because they've done this like big move. So they've moved all of their warehouses into one.
Consolidation always goes well. Yeah.
So like you ring up for something. Oh yeah, we got it in stock. Okay, so I'll have that tomorrow. I was like, well, we don't actually know where it is. So it's on a lorry somewhere. So yeah, but you got it in stock. Yeah, it's on a lorry. Where's the lorry? Well, we don't know where the lorry is. So when am I going to get? Well, when the lorry turns up.
So they've consolidated.
When's that going to be? Definitely sometime in the future.
They've consolidated all warehouses into one. So short-term cost saving for long-term profit loss. Excellent. Well done, Land Rover. You really know what you're doing.
And you feed them every day.
I don't know. It's like feeding a crackhead. I just can't help myself. All right. It's just like, give me more money. I'm like, oh, you cute little thing. Of course you can. Here's some more thousands of pounds.
How's the V8 getting on?
Mine or your man's?
Yours.
My one. I was just saying to Chris earlier, it's probably the mileage that it's done between MOTs is to the MOT station and back. So
it sounds like my Escort.
I'd hope it's okay. I cast eyes on it the other day. The air suspension had gone down a tiny bit, which, to be fair, isn't bad for 12 months. So
you haven't used it in 12 months, have you?
No, I really, really haven't driven it. So
do we need to start a Kickstarter just to get
Reg needs a new battery.
Go fund me.
Have you left the battery on it?
Yeah.
That's wank then.
Well, yeah, no, they're always wank though. Like there's something about them. Like if you try and turn them over flat,
it's a Range Rover.
Yeah,
it's always.
I'm always just. I know exactly what battery it is. I need at least 100 amp hours, at least 100 amp hours, 1000 CCA. I just like, just whatever, man. I'm not worried. It'll be all right. Why is this turn around on me? Well, fuck yourself. Like this is your week, not mine.
Apart from that, it's been all right. The last of the orders went out. I'm not releasing anything to the new year.
What, album-wise? Or?
E17 are going to do a bit of a comeback. I was going to do a cover.
Oh, that tickled me.
Stay now.
Yeah, no pressure, Chris. Don't be funny or anything else. Fucking killed me.
So don't buy the merch at the minute. I won't be sending it out. I've shut the room. I've locked it.
Oh no, we're in this is coming out in January. So
all right, order the merch.
Yeah. You're thinking about current. No,
merch is sent within 3 days.
All things. Yeah, no, seriously. But buy some.
Yeah,
shit.
so look at the website. There's new air fresheners, new stickers.
Look how corporate he's become. That's how his week's been. He's selling merch.
Buy it, don't. Nobody cares.
Please buy those air fresheners.
I nearly bought a new gun.
Oh.
Yeah. What did you nearly buy?
That nice thing you wanted.
He nearly bought the gun I was going to buy.
That's harsh.
Yeah, right. No, it wasn't on purpose.
Well, neither of us bought it. Neither of us won it. It went for way over market value, so it didn't matter. But
you said, "Oh, look at Hulk's auction," so I had a little look at Hulk's auction. I saw that thing, and I was like, "That's a bit of me."
it was a Beretta 96 collection, wasn't it?
Yeah,
With the very
yellow, the turquoise,
It's not. It wasn't hydro dipped. It was like Ryan described it to me from Johnny that told him. I think I can't remember, but basically where they literally put paint on top of water, like old school hydro dipping, where they put paint on top of water and then dip it in the water.
So
and
this
paint.
is the RuPaul drag race gun.
Yeah.
If anyone else takes a piss at me for wanting this gun, I'm going to kick off. All right.
So
It was very individual. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very pretty.
I put a bid in on it,
Ooh.
and then the week after, you said, "Look at this. This is really nice, isn't it?" And I was like, I didn't say anything to you because you said don't tell anyone what you bid on. I was like, yeah, no, that's really nice. He's like, yeah. I'm like, don't fucking you cunt.
Well, luckily neither of us won it because it went for way over market value. What is current market? I don't know. Auctions kind of set the tone, don't they? That's the problem.
Yeah,
so if it's sold for that, if it's sold for that on auction, then everyone else who's got one on the rack is going to go, oh fucking hell.
Yeah. But apart from that, mate, no, how's your week been?
Mine. It's been all right. A lot of pest control this week. A lot of pest control. Obviously, shooting season is long upon us. The pheasants, it's like we've had a bit of a push. They've gone over the top and they've pushed into the center of the farm. I feel like
They got Keith behind them.
Essentially, I feel like Stalingrad and the pheasants are the Axis forces coming.
Topical.
Yeah,
Topical.
very topical. Yeah, they are pushing in towards me. I've been there. Unlike the Red Army, I don't have many troops to sacrifice other than myself. I've just been sat there with an PPSH 41, just fucking yeah.
I'm sure they're
then you've
really,
woken
really
up
scary.
Realise you're in
and
your
there's
pants
two.
outside.
There's actually two pheasants. That's it.
Just going absolutely mad. It's been a big week. I've done a lot of stuff in the machine, and just been keeping pheasants at bay mainly. Yeah, it's that's literally all I've done. I've been mucking out. I've been pressure washing. I've been turning sheds around. I've been a busy little beaver, Marlon.
Nice. When's Killdozer Pheasant Edition coming?
I think, it won't be long before I go full Marvin Heemeyer. I'm sort of I'm sizing up the cab for a nice sort of steel shroud, a few little gun ports out the side.
And ordered the concrete mix.
And I really still want to know who's got the local shoot to me. It must be fairly close because I have so many pheasants. But this is
keep them in the pen, dickhead.
You are being invaded.
It feels like it some days, and sometimes I look at my magazine in the gun and I'm like, I'm just not going to have enough today. Like it's getting to that point where I'm just beating them off.
One of them was carrying a French flag.
You need to just do a big moat.
Yeah,
I hope they don't get small boats.
Build a wall, a beautiful wall, and the pheasants are going to pay for it.
Topical.
Yeah. That's literally been me, just keeping pheasants at bay, keeping the farm nice and peaceful, away from their squawking cries, and that's literally been it. My grandfather hasn't been too happy because he really likes to take photos of them when they've got their ears out. The only difference is we're looking at them through two very different types of optics. Yeah. When he clicks the shutter button and I click the shutter button, two very different things happen.
Their ears are out, but
he gets a lovely Mac wallpaper and I get dinner.
They look so good in a pie, don't they?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. What about you, Chris? How's your week been, man?
It's been really boring compared to you guys.
It's the key about podcasting. It doesn't matter how boring your week's been. Just make stuff up. No, joking.
Oh, there you go.
Just big it up.
I got a new sofa. Does that count?
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
DFS special? Or?
It was a DFS special.
Yeah, so was mine. Yeah.
But we're scared the dog's going to put paw prints on it because it's velvet.
Oh,
it's velvet.
shit.
Yeah. Blue velvet.
You have a child and a dog. Why would you buy a velvet sofa?
I don't know, because we've covered the lovely velvet sofa in about 10 blankets.
Yeah.
So.
What? Oh, yeah. Throws. Fucking throws.
Yeah.
Have you got some scatter cushions as well?
Yes, we have. Yeah, we had to go shopping for those as well. Just
got some candles and some gravel too.
And of course, some houseplants to go around the new sofa.
Yeah.
And some new fish for the tank next to the sofa to colour match,
colour match. It's like
Colour match the fish.
You think I'm joking though? That's the fucking ridiculous
I
thing.
completely understand.
Why velvet?
I don't know because we can't actually see the velvet for the scatter cushions and the fucking
All
big
the
throne.
shit.
And the first thing dog comes in is like, oh yeah, that looks good. I'll just
nice,
rub my fucking
Can I
body on
ask
that.
you a question?
Yes.
Right, because this might give me a little insight as to my wife. Why not leather?
Because my wife's a vegetarian.
Fair point. Well made. Yeah. My wife.
Also, because we don't all have air conditioning, like
That's what she says. Oh, it's sticky. It's hot.
It's not. I have a leather sofa.
I wanted a leather
I've been
sofa.
stuck to it in the heat, but it's one of those things you just accept.
just
because
drip off, don't you,
You
like?
can wipe it off.
But the scrotum trails.
Yeah.
Just like,
Honestly, in the summer, I am there butt naked.
oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
That's a thought I didn't think I wanted.
Sorry,
There's
team.
an image.
Sorry.
There's an image now that's burned into my retinas. Thank you.
I love leather. I'd have a big lazy boy with like, the big cup holders, and that would be me. But no, apparently we've got a velvet Chesterfield.
Yeah. Oh, a Chesterfield.
Oh, it's quite fun. It's quite
yeah.
fun.
No, we are the Chesterfield.
It's called the Annabelle, darling.
Oh,
Yes.
what's mine called?
Dave. Yours is called Dave.
Mine's called Dave.
It's called Phil.
I can't remember what mine's called. It was grey and it was a compromise. I mean, my compromise was it was comfy and not at all the sofa I wanted. But at the end of the day, I'm sat on the gun. I ain't looking at it, am I? So
The thing is, we bought when we moved into this house, new build, we bought a fuck off sofa. It cost us like a mortgage worth. Massive grey, beautiful sofa. And then, of course, this was too big. It was decided that, we needed to get a smaller sofa.
It was decided.
It was decided was the key sentence in that little speech.
So we gave this over to my brother who lives on the top 6th floor of a flat.
Holy
So we
shit.
carried that up on our heads. That was ridiculous.
Pivot.
Pivot. There was a bit of that. I started laughing halfway up and we nearly dropped the sofa on me. Like, fucking dickheads whoever decided to live up there. But now we've actually just replaced it with a sofa of the same size. And
Oh, right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
literally you've gone up. Well,
so we
you know.
just wasted. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, no, it's got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know. Yeah, mine's starting to get. I've had it 5 years now. Bought it when we moved in. It's starting to look a little bit tired. And I'm just.
So you too can get the Annabelle.
I'm. It's 50% off here.
Yeah.
I'm starting to put the seeds in. I'm thinking. I'm just.
You shouldn't do that on a sofa.
Especially not. It's not leather, mate. It won't just brush off.
You'll need a carpet cleaner if you do that.
Well, luckily, I've just repaired my
Hey.
Bissell Spot Clean Pro.
Hey, I've just bought
Your
one of
wank
those this
vacuum.
week.
Yeah, be careful because if we were talking about raw meat and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, my dog threw up raw mackerel, and I tried to. I tried to use the wet vac. It was said in a few episodes back. I tried to use a wet vac to hoover it up. Didn't realize there was a hole in the pipe. So then I had to order a new pipe. And then when I took the vacuum cleaner apart, I took off one of the pipes and didn't realize I hadn't emptied the dirty water tank. And I was then covered in raw, regurgitated, and been sat in a warm room for 3 days mackerel.
Kinky.
It was not. I was the least erect I'd ever been. But I'm putting the seeds in that we should. I want to buy an Outback leather sofa. You know the ones that kind of like soft leather. It marks really easily, so it'll be covered in dog scratches.
But you're used to that as a Land Rover owner.
What did Gary say? The paint's fucking wank.
My detailer literally said, "Your car is a Friday afternoon job." I was like, "Thanks, Gary." He did my old man's exactly the same vehicle. He's like, paint was hard as nails on his. I was like, he treats it like shit. I treat mine so well. You've been inside my car. It's immaculate inside. My old man's like, yeah, it's fag ash on the floor. Be careful. Great. Cheers.
Immaculate.
Inside?
It's not bad.
Not bad. I fucking clean that thing.
Do you want to talk about the outside?
Oh,
at
yeah,
all?
disgusting. Absolutely covered in shite. I will not deny that.
So when he goes to reverse it, it throws up 1,000 different alarms because the parking sensors are that covered in dirt. He's like, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that doing?
Fuck's that? Fucking hell.
Where's that coming from? Oh, it's because he hasn't cleaned his car since the day he owned it.
No. No, you're right.
You've never fucking
no,
cleaned it,
I haven't.
have you?
No, when I had it detailed, they
I have somebody else.
Gary cleaned it for me. Yeah, knowledge is a curse.
I love it how all car cleaners are called Gary. Like,
yeah, but he's fucking brilliant. And I think knowledge is a curse. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have given a fucking shit. I'd have just got some soapy water and a sponge. But now,
washing up liquid.
I know the damage that you can do to paint if you don't.
nearly as much damage as just leaving it on the fucking car. Well, I'm gonna behave. Sorry, I'm not gonna. I told them I'd behave.
This is brilliant. I love it when people give as good as they get, man. It takes me like 3 hours to clean a car, and I won't clean a car in sunshine.
Why? You bought the short one. It's not like.
Where's the rest of it?
Where's the rest of you?
It's like you rolled up to pick me up, and it's like, where the fuck is the back seat? Like,
She's van spec check.
you bought the poverty spec one. It's okay.
This is gonna be 2 hours of us just ripping each other out.
So, thing is, feel free to rip into me. I'll just play the card.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I can't. You'll just be like, excuse me. I'll play the dead mum card, and you'll just pull out this trump card. And I'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake, I fold.
Hashtag jelly.
You're just lucky you didn't have to get into mine, Chris.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't let him get into yours. Do you want to take one car or two? And you're like, no.
Yours has got hazard tape round it. Like,
This is the first time I've been in her Passat in weeks.
Dog vehicle.
It's a dog, yeah, but the dog doesn't eat Greg's. He can't open bottles, and he sure as shit doesn't drink Dr. Pepper. It's a fucking mess. Also, driving it down the road, steering wheel's about 30 degrees out now. She's beat the fuck out of that.
They love a pothole, don't they? The fairer sex.
we don't talk about partners' cars. That's not allowed on the podcast, is it?
No, I don't give a shit. Wait, you say about my wife's car. It's like, just don't take the piss out of it to her face because she's very touchy about it. I know it's a shit off. I don't care.
As I came up the drive, I was warned.
I told him about the wife's C1 before we got here. I was like, oh God, don't even go
I thought
there.
he was joking.
And then we pulled up to the drive. He's like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, I know. Don't bring it up in front of her, Chris. Let's try and make friends here. But yeah, on the show, I didn't give a fuck. She didn't listen to this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, we're grand. So yeah. Getting back to the sofa. Are you happy with it?
It's very soft. I keep threatening to rub my scrotum on it. Like, she gave me this look across. She was like, "What the fuck are you
like
on?"
A dog with worms, just.
It is that soft. It's a very nice sofa, but we are all scared of marking it. Hence why we bought the carpet shampoo just in case.
Yeah.
And we thought he had to use it.
I think that's why we bought the wet vac. When we bought the wet vac, because it was like,
should have bought a leather fucking sofa.
We have to wet vac the cushions, and because there's some special anti-fire shit coating on them. And then I realised after a while, I was like, I don't care about that. I'm just going to strip the cushions and throw them in the fucking wash. And then the wet vac just became a dog sick remover. And my sick remover, to be fair. So yeah. I can't make it up the stairs. You need to get up the stairs. Bleh. She's like, why have you done this?
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about being sick in six. Six. Jesus.
During what? After?
I was at Centre Parks once and I managed to block a sink I was having some medical treatment. I ran into the bathroom to be sick and blocked the sink really badly.
I know that you, and then you have to kind of like move it around.
Well, no, that didn't work.
Oh, what did you chew your food before you swallowed?
It was just like a whole pizza.
I can't work out
going down.
So anyway, I ran the maintenance line. Oh my God, I'm really ill and I'm really sorry. I've been sick.
Was this Centre Parks Longley?
Yes, it was. Yeah. He's like, I'm sending an ambulance. I'm like, no, I don't need an ambulance. I need a plunger. I'm sending the ambulance. Anyway, we ended up with like a medical car outside and one guy just in with the plunger and they're taking my blood pressure and stuff. And all you get is...
Send police and ambulance.
Yeah.
Well, we need an ambulance and a maintenance man.
But this poor cunt was just fucking going to town on this. And they're like, "Are you relaxed, Steve? You got, how's your heart rate?" That's all you can hear in the back.
Shag, are you corgi registered or no?
He did a good job. It was mostly unblocked.
And you were fine?
Yeah, it was fine.
Didn't have to go to hospital. They
no.
I told you, don't ring the ambulance.
Every time we've gone to Centre Box, though, our family's had some type of emergency. So, like,
At this point, you book your tickets, and a big red thing comes up, goes have a electrician on standby, have the fire brigade,
and the world's biggest plunger.
A defib
shit comes.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, yeah, my week's been great.
Good, yeah. Oh, I knew it was a good choice getting you on, man. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, right. So let's just fucking get into it, Chris. I mean, at the end of the day,
talk about child abuse.
I'm laughing only because I spent the whole day with you, and you've made it very clear that, haha, a lot of this is funny, or funny to make a joke from.
This is serious.
Yeah.
Things.
Basically, it's your story, man. So, without sounding too much like James English. So,
Who?
He starts all of his shows
His teeth
off.
aren't wide enough.
Sorry,
James.
Beautiful nicotine. It's like if you hold up a Dulux color chart, it'll be like, oh, Marlboro Lights. Yeah, take us back to the start. How it all began. No, but seriously. So yeah, you've got a really incredible story, Chris. I know you've been on a few shows before. I've listened to them. I was like, holy fuck. And then as I listened to them, I realized you were local. I also realized that you had a great sense of humor. And obviously, we've just been for the last half an hour just bullshitting between us.
Is any of that actually going to make the podcast?
Mate, I ain't cutting none of that. That was gold. That was just beautiful comedy
just
riffing.
us taking the piss out of you.
Literally,
basically.
yeah. I mean, I'm here for it, man. I'm just a podcast punching bag.
What you can't see is he's drinking about 3 rums at the moment, crying.
Just get slowly more pissed. But yeah, like I saw you on a few shows. I realised that you were local, and I realised that you had a great sense of humour, and you had a really, mate. I'm not going to try and blow smoke up your own ass. It is like an honour and a privilege to have you here. And it's an honour and privilege to have met you. And
it's okay to come to see you too.
Yeah.
On what podcast am I? Hold on, the Doghouse podcast.
Cunt. It's been really difficult.
That's 3 vlogs.
Oh man,
straight down a fucking M69.
Insert name of show here.
The listeners are going to be so mad. They're like, where is this going? We've seen the title. What are you talking about?
The child abuse, for fuck's sake.
It's not funny, all right?
Very serious.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm not used to being unfiltered. I'm sorry,
mate. It's the best way to do it. It's the best. It's the as far as I'm concerned, it's the only.
I prefer using lubricant.
It's the only way to do it. So I mean, to be honest, Chris, I don't know where to start. It's your story. I'm just gonna let you tell it.
So I had quite a normal upbringing.
It's a fucking liar.
That was in fact a lie.
Ding ding. Okay, so shall we go back? So I was born. That's a good start. I came out of a vagina. So I was born to a couple of alcoholics and drug takers. My parents had really bad substance abuse issues, and my early years were pretty traumatic, but not that bad to anyone else in a council house estate. And we didn't have carpet, we didn't struggle to feed ourselves, but we were loved. That wasn't a cough to say that we weren't loved.
It's one for help.
Yeah. But yeah, we had quite a normal, semi-normal upbringing, but my parents were really struggling with substance abuse issues.
Yeah.
So when my mum ended up going into hospital when I was roughly 3 years old, she was told she had really bad meningitis and she was going to probably end up in a wheelchair.
Oh, fuck.
So they decided to put us up for private fostering. And
that was social services decided that, or?
Well, between them and a social worker, we don't quite know the full story. We've never managed to trace it back, which is very great.
Yeah. Well, when would that have been?
So this would have been, I was 3 years old, so can we do some maths? No, it's too late.
Too long.
Roughly 92.
So yeah, the paper, it's all but that was the age of digitization. So some stuff got digitized, some didn't,
This
and
is
then
it.
everything that wasn't digitized was fucking
Lost.
binned.
And basically everything below like 1997 for my life is just it's not there.
Jesus,
Someone chucked it out. I'm kind of hurt. I
fucking would be.
My life is gone. So yeah, they put us up for private fostering, and apparently they looked at the wrong fostering list because they chose a lady called Eunice Spry. So Eunice Spry was well known in the local community for picking up scallywags and giving them a good life.
Right.
So my parents chose them.
Has she had? Sorry, I don't mean to interject. Has she had?
Please do.
Had she had foster children before?
Yeah, so she had one adoptive daughter and one foster daughter who she picked up.
Right.
So, she in the local community, she was almost considered a bit of a hero.
Yeah.
Like, for helping all these, children, etc. So my parents genuinely did believe that actually they were giving us a shot at a better life. And I think they genuinely believe that actually in a couple of years' time, they might pick us up again. And
It can't have been an easy decision for them.
I think it's probably easier than we think.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
No. They were really struggling with us.
Yeah.
And like financially, and they had a heroin addict. Heroin addict? They had a heroin addiction at the time. So
Yeah.
I think that was taking up a lot of their funds. So I think it was an easy out for them.
Yeah.
But I can see also why they did it.
Yeah.
They generally did believe we were going to get a better life. # we didn't. Spoiler.
They've read the title.
What is the title going to be?
Whatever you want it to be, boo.
Chair leg.
God alive.
Return of the chair leg.
32nd book.
Chair leg 3. The return of
all of this will become apparent.
Revenge of the chair
All
leg.
of this will become apparent later in the episode, listeners.
Yeah. Stay with us.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah,
with us.
stay with
Yeah.
it.
We'll try and tell this story. So it's not my fault. They give me Red Bull. I'm fucking diabetic.
Got diabetes.
You need to hit the button for that.
Fuck your life! Bing
There
bang!
you go. So, we got picked up from the hospital. Literally, Eunice arrived in a bright yellow Volvo. For some reason, I still love Volvos. Like, Volvos are cool, even though it's kind of taking me off to the torture zone. I was 3.5, nearly 4 years old.
Yeah.
Really excited because, it just all seemed like a good change for us. So we rolled up at Eunice's house. This is a house filled with toys. Literally, sand pits out in the garden. I remember just spending hours. It was a really hot summer, spending hours in this garden playing with like Tonka toys. Do you have that?
Yeah, I remember Tonka toys, yeah.
It's cool toys. I would still play with Tonka toys if it was normal. For a 34-year-old to play with Tonka toys. But yeah, I just playing in the garden for hours. Initially, our life was amazing. It was strict because she was Jehovah's Witness. Other religions are available.
I wouldn't recommend any of them.
I don't know, Scientology. I hear that's
Yeah, just pay your way, isn't it?
pay your way. You're
yeah.
like, give them £1 million and apparently you off to see Elon or whatever it is.
Yeah. Is it Elron?
Elron, sorry.
Elron
Don't
Hubbard.
sue us,
Yeah.
Tesla.
I was thinking, is he a Scientologist? Tom Cruise.
No, I literally said
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
You never know with
You never
Hollywood.
know.
You never
You never
know.
know.
I'm running and running.
But, so it was a very strict lifestyle we led straight from the start, but it was...
For anyone that doesn't know about Jehovah's Witnesses, can you give us a little bit of an insight as to...
They hands a lot of leaflets out.
They believe in Jehovah. There we go. That's it.
fire and brimstone, isn't it?
Yeah, so they believe that we've got to do really good things on the earth, convert as many people to Jehovah's Witnesses
Yep.
for when Armageddon comes, which is like end of the world.
It's very much doomsday, isn't it?
Very much doomsday. All of us are going to get wiped out anyway, apart from 144,000. And then the ones who have been good will be reincarnated and will live in the promised land.
It is am I right in saying that it's
Cult?
very far removed offshoot of Christianity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They read the Bible. That's about as good as
That was literally all I had to tie it back to. I was like, I know they read the Bible, and
they believe in Jesus.
yes, and everything else is completely away
But
from that.
they've edited the Bible so that the Lord has been replaced with Jehovah and everything.
And they rewrite it whenever they sort of feel, not rewrite it, but they kind of...
They rewrite the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Because they've predicted Armageddon about 5 times, I think.
God, there's nothing worse than that.
And then they've had to reassess the play a couple of times.
Actually, I'm getting a new one coming through. No, it's not tomorrow. Actually,
9/11, we were told this is it. And so we were all bunkered down ready for that. And
Really?
Then, oh God, yeah. 9/11 was it.
When that happened?
Because it happened next to the headquarters to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, is it near there
They
in
have
New
a
York?
headquarters.
Yeah.
Well, they did have a headquarters. They sold it recently for a very fancy product. Yeah, a little bit of profit.
Funny
that. They had this really fancy building next to Manhattan.
Oh, so they saw that
quite
as...
a lot of the shots of the towers coming down, you can see it in the background.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we were all crowded around the screen ready for Armageddon, and it didn't happen.
No.
Hashtag spoiler.
Yeah. Sorry for the offshoot. Just wanted to anyone that didn't know what Jehovah's Witnesses
but
were.
There are parts of the Jehovah's Witnesses that are a lot more strict. So we don't have Christmas, we don't have anything to do with magic, we don't have birthdays. What's a birthday? It's quite a strict religion. They believe in corporal punishment still. They go to church multiple times a week. A lot of their income gets given to the church. It's quite an extreme version of Christianity.
It's a cult.
I think so, but I try and...
I think cult comes with a lot of negative connotations of suicide and,
I thought it was a gun.
What?
Cult!
Not a cult, a cult.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd agree. It's a cult.
But I'm not defending them, but I believe you me, I am far from defending Jehovah's Witnesses.
He's got this big flag saying JW.org behind him.
I'm off the Kingdom Hall a minute, mate. I'll be back in a minute. I'm joking.
Please turn up on Sundays.
But yeah, it's quite isolationist, isn't it? The religion itself. You're not. They would call people like myself and Marlon and yourself, obviously now, worldly people, apostates. Yeah, because we don't believe and that we're not to be associated with, are we?
And the very harsh thing they do is, as you're coming out of the church. So say you've had an affair or something, or you've had sex.
Heaven forbid.
God, Jesus.
Yeah. You'd be, you know what it's called.
Excommunicated.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Or
disfellowshipped.
Oh, he's got all the big words.
I know.
He's got all the big words.
I know a lot about a little. No, a little about a lot, sorry.
He knows a lot about his warranty.
If you go anywhere past the surface level, I'm lost.
Okay. So yeah, you'd be disfellowshipped and then you are excommunicated. Like basically, so none of the people in that religion will talk to you. They will cross the road if you are on the same road.
Literally shun you.
Literally shun you. It's called shunning.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. Oh, God, I thought you were just good.
See, I told you, below the surface, no good.
He's like a swan with his little feet going.
On the top, I look really calm. Underneath, I'm flailing. No idea. Don't ask me in-depth questions. I'm an idiot.
So, yeah, and especially if you've accused them, say that they've got a massive problem with sexual abuse within the church, etc.
Horrendous, yeah.
It's coming out a lot, especially in Australia.
I saw that. Yeah, they've really gone in on them hard, haven't they?
Yeah. So
I think,
just like they.
I'm not lessening this, but I think a lot of religions have this problem, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Catholic Church, for God's sake. I mean, it's been fucking awful.
No.
Yeah, but I think it was only they start with the big ones. And then it just takes time to get down to the smaller ones. You've obviously got the cults that are really small and attract a lot of attention. And then you've got, I'm not saying Mormons, obviously, for sake of legal reasons, but like Mormonism, Jehovah's, and say like the Moonies or say something. It's this like in the middle
I only
bit.
recently found out about the Moonies.
Weird, very weird. Yeah, very strange. Mass weddings.
There's a good documentary on Netflix about that. You don't know about the Moonies?
I have absolutely no idea.
Look it up.
They're a religion that moon people out of vehicles. Like very.
You're a dick. It is not that.
I'm in.
But I think
it's a devout Moonie.
Like we said, the big ones are going to attract a lot of attention. The small ones, the tiny ones, are going to attract a lot of attention, i.e., Jonestown, the Branch Davidians. But then you've got these sort of in between size ones that it's just taken. It is always going to get there, but now it's finally got there, and what's coming out is fucking awful.
With the Jehovah's Witnesses, they had this horrible thing called the 2-witness rule.
Yes.
You've heard of this. So for those who don't know, which is across the room from me, he's just like, what the fuck is
and
a 2-witness?
99.9% of the people listening, just me and you are weird and know this shit, okay?
We love the abuse. So we'll explain the 2-witness rule. Basically, so say someone's been sexually abused in the church by an elder or by another member of the church. Unless a second person has seen it, it
didn't happen.
It didn't happen, or it's written on a piece of paper, putting a safe, and then God will decide what to do with it.
Right.
It's called the 2-witness rule. So unless there's a second witness rule,
it effectively didn't happen.
And then God will deal with it later on when Armageddon comes.
Oh, right, like a Judgment Day kind of thing.
Judgment Day, yeah. So there are people who have raped kids, who have done horrific things. You know, they've been in the religion for 20 years, but because 2 people have never witnessed those crimes,
it didn't happen. As far as they're concerned, it's not valid.
It's also against the religion to then go report those crimes. You're heavily influenced to...
What? How does that fare in a legal stance, though? Surely is there not a law that says you cannot stop someone from reporting something?
But they're a charity.
This is the fucking problem.
This
is the fucking problem. It's the same in America when you're registered as a religion. Then you get tax breaks and you get to pretty much do what you fucking want.
So I'm not.
So how do we do
that? I've got. You just get this book and change a pile of names, all right?
I can do that. I got Photoshop.
It's an issue with quite a few religions. I'm not anti-Jehovah's Witness at all. But I can see the holes in there.
But you can speak to what you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are people who saw the abuse I went through, coming up in a minute, spoiler. There were people who definitely knew things were going on.
And kept them out.
Said absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and I'd love to go through the archives of Tewkesbury Jehovah's Witnesses and see if anyone actually reported it.
Yeah.
And then the 2-witness rule came into play. I know people did try and report it and were shut down. So... But yeah, decent religion other than that.
Other than all that, great people.
The memorial's nice. They give you a bit of bread and wine. You're not meant to drink it.
Really? Oh yeah, because no alcohol, no cigarettes, no smoking.
Well, no, they can drink, but it's shunned upon in excess.
Oh, okay. So
there are some perks. Come on, don't totally diss them. You can drink a bit of cider,
but that's
But it's you are heavily limited to what you can do. You're expected to keep a certain standard of life.
Yeah.
You're expected to give free labor to the church, etc.
Right.
So all the kingdom halls are built for free
by
workers. So majority of Jehovah's Witnesses are carpenters, plasterers, are tradespeople. Because those
literally building their own workforce, yeah.
So all the kingdom halls are put up for free, and then they keep them for 10 years and then sell them. So the church where all my abuse happened is currently for sale. No. I keep threatening to buy it.
Imagine how funny that would be.
I'll start the Church of Satanism.
Was it? What was his? LeVay, wasn't it? Yeah. The bloke that run the was it? It was the Satanic Church. Was it? It was called,
or at least the Church of the Spaghetti Monster or something. Have you seen
something
that?
mental.
Yeah.
So
the Jedi School of Tewkesbury.
Welcome, young Padawan.
So getting back to it. So yeah, we were in quite a strict religion family anyway, and then life was all right.
How many years was it?
Well, probably about a year.
Yeah.
It's hard to put a time on it.
You were very young.
Yeah. And this is an issue I have with my story is I can't put exact dates on everything.
Of course, you're not going to be able to.
And people take real offense to that. Like, I will get a message after this saying, "Well, why can't you remember?"
Well,
what
actually,
day this happened?
This doesn't line up with what you said 2 years ago in another interview.
Well, quite often I've had evidence given to me since and stuff, and like,
Yeah, and also like you were a fucking like just over a toddler at this point. Like,
I can't remember what I did last week.
no.
Never mind.
who are you? Where am I? Red Bull's a hell of a drink. So yeah, quite a normal upbringing, apart from being in a slight cult. And then it all went to shit. So I've talked about the incident many a time. Should we go into it?
Yeah, man. Because
Okay,
the
why
thing is,
not?
the thing is, just because I know it, no one else does.
I'm hurt that they don't know about me.
Some of them might do. I mean, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think for the sake of everyone else,
Yeah, let's go into it. Fuck it, why not? It's fun to talk about.
For fuck's sake.
Sorry.
this is why I told Marlon not to listen to anything, so he didn't know.
So we call it the red line incident, and that's what it was called in the court case.
Right.
And it was the first time that Eunice Spry, the woman involved, went way above what even Jehovah's Witnesses
The
do.
moment everything changed.
Yeah. So imagine I'm probably 5 or 6, between 5 or 6. My sisters are 3 years older than me, 4 years older than me. Some chocolate went missing in the house, and it was a Bounty bar, very good chocolate bar.
What?
Don't you like bounties?
No.
I know he's one of these people. He's like, well, he's like most of the nation that doesn't like bounties.
I'm actually hurt.
I am as well. I like bounties, man.
Right, I'm seeing myself out. Like, fuck this.
Coconut's
okay,
a banging fruit.
It's
No.
not a fruit.
What is it?
It's a nut.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, coke.
Yeah, cocoa nut.
There's a clue in the fucking name.
You've just changed my life.
So let's talk about the incident. So chocolate went missing in the house, a Bounty bar. Some people like them, some people don't. I like them.
Somebody has to.
Are you the person who leaves them all in a bowl?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want that shit.
Well, you could ship them to me afterwards, for fuck's sake.
I will.
Thank you. I'm like a charity. I need that shit. So we were all called up to this bedroom. We were all putting a semicircle, and she went to each of us right really close to our faces, like an inch off our face. I looked us in the eyes and like, did you take the chocolate? And we said no. My sister said no. I said no. And she did it twice. And this is really intense and very weird because she had not done this before. So we're starting to get a bit nervous. And then she walked to the corner of the room. She asked us to take all our shoes and socks off. So we did. And this is getting very weird at this point. You know, we're all like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And she picks up a chair leg. You'll hear chair leg come up in a few jokes, but most of my childhood is based around a chair leg.
Was it the same chair leg?
There were other chair legs.
Oh.
Like she wasn't
Other
picking.
chair legs are available.
Strange.
But this chair leg, to slightly predict what happened in the future, this chair leg actually was found and taken to court
Fuck off.
with our DNA and teeth marks on it.
Oh, God.
Spoiler. Anyway, so she came up to us and we're all barefoot in a semicircle and she whacked the tops of our feet with the chair leg.
Mm.
Now, I have never felt pain before. Like, we'd been smacked before on the bums and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But pure pain, like, and I dropped to the floor. And she waited us for us to stand up and she carried on. Now, it got to the end, got to a point where actually one of us owned up to it. I can't remember who. I think it was Victoria who owned up to it. She hadn't actually taken the chocolate. The chocolate was actually found in the garden. This fucking evil little dog, Meg, had taken it.
Fucking dog.
Yeah, little collie.
Cunts.
No one likes collies.
No, we don't.
Other dogs are available. And she, yeah, the dog had buried it in the garden. We found it like a week later. So, but one of us owned up to it just to stop it. And this is where it gets even more fucked up. You know, she had us all put our shoes and socks on, and then we used to live next to a weird town called Tewkesbury. Very weird. They love floods. Fucking love floods. They love boats and floods. And each year they have something called a mop fair, which is like this big fair that they fill every street in the town with fair rides, helter-skelters, candy floss, you name it, they've got it. And we were made to go to that fair with our feet bleeding in our shoes and watch our two siblings go on all the rides. We weren't allowed to go on anything, and we were sobbing at this point. Like we were so confused. And
I was going to say
fu-
confusion
that's it.
would have
You
been.
wouldn't understand what's actually.
no, we still don't. Like I still look
yeah.
back and like, what the fuck was going on? Like, so yeah, I remember watching my eldest sister, who was never abused, kind of weird, going helter skelter, and just we were sobbing in the
Just couldn't,
crowd.
yeah, it couldn't work out.
And we
why.
were out there for a couple of hours watching everyone else go there. They got bought chips and stuff. And why does everyone have chips when they go to the fairground?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
A very English thing, isn't it?
Yeah, very English. And that was the start of the decline.
That was like you say, the red line incident. That was crossed the line.
From then, within the next 2 weeks, it spiraled. It's very weird talking about this with this music.
John, turn it off, man. Sorry.
No. Go to next song. All
right.
It's very happy music.
His playlist is shit.
Oh wow, that's strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first. You'll have to edit that.
Sorry.
That was the first time we'd gone across that red line, and over the next 2 weeks, it went downhill really quick. So Eunice has always been as obsessed with torture books. She had books from Japan on the torture that they'd done to the Chinese.
Unit
in World War II.
731.
This is it. This
Yeah.
is it. You're well versed in it, I hear.
Yeah.
He leads a really kinky life.
Yeah, that's it. If you think what happened in fucking Auschwitz was bad, Jesus, you want to read that fucking book? Oh
Yeah,
my god!
they did some horrific things to the Chinese.
But it was without drawing direct parallels. It seemed like what happened in Unit 731 was beyond the point of reason.
Yeah,
there was no. I couldn't even say you could justify throwing a grenade into a group of live people and seeing the damage that it could do. But in some sort of weird, twisted way, you could say, okay, we've done that for military purposes. Yes, we killed people. But you do you know what I mean? You could, in a twisted, sick, and absolutely in no way legal way, you could see what, but some of the stuff they did in Unit 731 to what?
Yeah.
To what end? And that is what I sort of, the similar thing that I draw from your story, Chris, is to what end did any of this make any sense?
It didn't. This is the thing. So yeah, she would get us to stay up all night in stress positions. She'd have us. So we, do the invisible chair. Yeah, it's a bougie thing to do now at the gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
Put your back against the wall and try and hold an invisible
That's a North
chair.
Korean torture technique, isn't it?
This is it. Well, a lot of the North Korean stuff came
from Japan. Yeah, it would have done.
Because there's all that same
Yeah.
error, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we would have to put our backs against the wall and try and hold an invisible chair, and she would have each other. We would have to judge each other and write on the wall how many times we fell, and then we'd get a beating the next day.
It's almost like
But she'd
pitting you
pretend
against each other.
Oh, 100%. And she'd pretend to be asleep, so we couldn't even give it each other, like, we did a bit, don't get me wrong. We never
you couldn't
put the full
fix
amount.
it too much.
Yeah. Or we'd all get beaten the same amount. So it was like we were trying to play this game almost.
Yeah.
And very quickly, within those 2 weeks, we would be walking up and down stairs all night. If we stopped, we'd get beaten, so we'd carry on. Eventually, you collapse and...
You've got nothing left.
Yeah, and you have to remember, we're 5, 6 years
say,
old.
yeah.
You're
Like a fucking child.
Yeah.
just over toddlers.
Yeah.
I got friends with kids that are that age, and it hurts me to think of like a child that young. I mean, there's gonna be listeners that are listening with kids the same age as how old you were describing that you were during this, and it's just fucking. I mean, the thing is, there's no words.
No.
Like,
And a lot of people think, how could that happen? It was interesting. The neighbours who were questioned by the police many years later remember hearing this on the stairs all night.
oh my
And
God.
they thought it was machinery because it was so rhythmatic.
Yeah.
And it was only when they told the police afterwards that it all made sense. Yeah, weird. So yeah, things went downhill very quickly. But we were still living within a housing estate at the time.
Right.
It was a couple of years later that we started getting access to the farm The torture farm, as it's nicknamed.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, in the local community, it's called the torture farm.
Sorry, again, to interject. How... I know it's like asking... It's like nearly 30 years ago for you now. But...
Not that fucking old. Jesus.
No, you said you were
About
like...
20 years ago, all right?
You said you were like 5'6".
Oh, yeah, fucking hell, I am that fucking old.
I have this all the time when I think about things like this, and I'm like, my God, that was...
Jesus, I'm nearly old enough to buy a Land Rover.
You was
Get the tweet out.
How, like, can you remember how long it took you to realise that this isn't, like, stopping?
To be fair, because... So the whole reason she did this abuse was because we were the devil's children. I don't mean that literally. I hope we
But
aren't.
that's what she...
So she very quickly convinced us that the reason our parents had given us up was because we had spirits in us and demons.
And that was her justification.
Her job was to exercise that from us. She used a lot of exercise, Jesus. Sorry.
Fit as fiddles.
Yeah, fit as fiddles. I've made up for it now.
Good man.
But her whole ethos. And I remember 6, 7 years old praying to God each night, thanking him for giving us Eunice, thanking him for giving us a chance to get these spirits out of us, because we generally believed it.
Yeah. If a person of authority is telling you this, and you're of that age,
Yeah,
with
and she's our mother. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, we were forced to call her mother from the start. So that starts getting ingrained.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really remember our real parents that well anyway. So, yeah, she was mum.
So yeah, I mean, a couple of years later, you moved to the torture farm.
The torture farm. So at one point, we moved directly to the farm, and the farm was quite run down. It was owned by an old guy called John, who was housebound, very disabled. He had lung cancer, basically. He smoked at least 50 a day, so he was
Typical old farmer.
typical old farmer. Had 10 shotguns in the cabinet, with proper old school farmer, but was in a really bad way.
Yeah.
And Eunice introduced him to her other daughter, Charlotte, who was adopted. And Charlotte was this angel, sung opera. She was, the dream child. And John grew attached to her straight away. And we slowly moved into the farmhouse to look after John on his last days.
Right.
And John was made to cut off contact with all his actual family, his sons and things like that.
Oh my God.
Brother. And yeah, Eunice took over. So initially the abuse while we were with John wasn't that bad. Just the odd beating and just the odd beating. That sounds terrible.
But yeah, in comparison to what
comparison
you've
to
been
what's
through
coming
and was
up.
going to go through, yeah.
Yeah, the abuse wasn't that bad. And we were living in quite a cool old farmhouse. I quite enjoyed it. There was some old Massey Fergusons to play on and stuff, and life wasn't bad. Relative.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. And then the old man died. He died kind of suspiciously.
Right.
So I'm not going to put the question.
No. Yeah, obviously.
Let's not insinuate too much. She killed
Yeah.
him.
I was going to ask that, but I won't.
I'm just.
Was it a bit? Was it sudden? Should we say?
So he forgot to turn on his oxygen that night,
Oh my God.
and then died from.
So the main thing he relied on,
Yes,
he forgot
that
to
he turned on for the last
the
year.
one-
Yeah.
Also, Eunice was a nurse, and the last job she'd had was working in
Palliative care.
Yes, end of life at a hospital called Delancey in Cheltenham. Yeah, she.
No, you didn't say that. You didn't say that.
She might have killed him.
Yeah.
There's a possibility.
There's a
The opportunity was
Everyone,
there.
everyone might have done anything. Yeah.
Yes. Please don't sue us.
I think she'd have our job, mate, against you.
Yeah,
Us, maybe. I don't know.
I welcome the law.
Please.
You have to give your address. Please come to court. It'd be hilarious. So yeah, he died, and this is where it gets really fucking weird, because we were made to go in and watch his last breaths when he was dying.
And how old are you?
Like 6.
That's fucked up.
What?
Yeah, so he had these summer rooms. It was a really nice big Georgian house, and there were these glass rooms side of the houses, summer rooms,
Yeah.
like a conservatory almost.
Yeah, with the roof, yeah.
But all the curtains were fully closed, and there was just one beam of light shining on the table next to him, and got this horrible gasping noise.
Yeah, the death rattle, basically, yeah.
I will never forget that noise.
No,
And there's a smell.
I know.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, you.
Yeah, no, not saying it like that, but like I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, pull that card.
Yeah, it's like I was 21, and that's not fucked me up, but I will never forget that.
You
and I would,
100% what I'm on about.
wouldn't even dream of putting. I wouldn't dream of putting anyone under the age of 18 or that I didn't
And
think was
even
able
then,
even if you weren't if you were unsure that they'd be able to cope with it, you'd say, "Do you know what, unless you're absolutely adamant, no."
Yeah.
I wouldn't force anyone to go through that.
She ferried us all in to this room. It's like a film scene because it almost looks black and white. It's that dark with just this one beam of light, and you're watching an old man just slip away, and no oxygen, of course.
Yeah, but for what reason?
I don't. This is the one I can't.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to
but
see inside her head, but you don't have any?
There was no reason. I still to this day can't work out what, was it to scare us? Well, she'd already done that for fuck's sake. Was it to show us end of life? Well, fuck's sake, like I don't. To this day, really confuses me. And it's not a nice death for him either, is it? It's like.
Yeah, dying with all these people standing around you, just like
yeah, busy gone yet.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And then we stood and watched him for half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah, he was, and yeah, she went up and checked him. He's dead. I could tell that, man.
That's fucked up.
It's seriously fucked up. It's one of those memories that. Like a lot of the stuff I've come to terms with, even some of it I'll joke about, but this was an old man, like his weakest, and watching him pass.
It's beyond comprehension.
Yeah. So after that, it's just weird. I don't understand it. How a couple of days before he died, his will changed.
Strange. How that could have happened.
Yeah, from leaving everything to his family to leaving everything to Charlotte and Eunice. Just mind boggles.
How?
Considering he was pretty much unconscious when this happened as well,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, mad. But that's what happened.
So the farm was left to.
Suddenly, she had a very nice farm with plenty of land and plenty of.
Yeah, lots of assets very quickly.
Yeah, and she made use of them very quickly.
So you guys were put to work on the farm.
Yeah, so we were there with the pigs. Should have seen the other bitches. It was a working farm up to a point. It wasn't massive farm, but the land was put to straw. We had cattle. We had until foot and mouth. Beefy. But it was a working farm, and we were the ones feeding the animals in the morning, collecting eggs in the evening, but Eunice very quickly went on a vendetta of abuse to another level. We were the starvation. For viewers looking at the picture of me now, I have made up for lost time. Don't worry.
You
ain't got nothing to explain, Chris. Right? You don't answer to fucking no one.
I could eat Eunice. That's how funny. But at the time, we probably weighed between 4 and after 5 stone. Like even when we were teenagers.
Nothing.
I'm sorry. Like for a start, obviously you're not going to school at this point. Like
school was. Can we go into this in 1 second?
All right. Sorry, we had to go a little break. So yeah, I was just saying. So you obviously weren't at school.
So I always laughed that I did get some education, and it was like 5 days.
Really? This is
yeah. So I have had 0 education in my life apart from these 5 days where I learned that actually school is shit. It didn't take long. No, so I got sent to a primary school, Ashchurch Primary. Boom. Big up yourselves. It's a proper little shithole primary school. But we got sent there. And within days, we were being noticed for bruises on our arms. And
It was picked up that quickly.
straight away. And also, because we weren't being fed properly, I might have invaded the other kids' lunchboxes. It was open season.
But as you would, though, wouldn't you? If
Those little rich Cheltenham kids, mate, they have some...
Fuck 'em. I'm gonna have their sandwiches.
Those Mr. Kiplings didn't stand a fucking chance.
There was no spam sandwiches there. This was like...
Honey roast ham, where you at?
They had salad cream, for fuck's sake. I was stealing food.
Yeah, but
straight away.
as an underfed kids, like, you would be, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
And we were sent to school without food. So...
And they that was picked up on, surely.
It was, but not quick enough. And within a week, I'd been pulled out of school because something must have been mentioned to Eunice.
Yeah, something got back to her.
How did they get the? How did he get this bruise?
Why have they not
Well,
got any food?
apparently, I was really clumsy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he fell down those stairs on his own multiple times.
Yeah, for the next however many years.
Yes.
God.
So
you were obviously homeschooled then?
we were.
No, but in the eyes of the government, the social system.
kind of, because we did get checked once every couple of years for our homeschooling. So over the course of a couple of days, Eunice made us create all this work, and she put maps on these big boards and stuff, and
The facade of
yeah,
this is the glass room.
yeah,
There's an
and
atlas and a globe, and they're doing things.
this is it. They were showing the same thing for the 3
Yeah.
checks, and no one picked up that nothing had changed. It's just over the course of 9 years.
No. Was it a different person every time?
I don't know.
Buddy,
We barely saw them. Like
Oh.
we were there just to nod and say hello.
This is
and then,
this is X. This is Y. This is
Then Eunice would take them. At one point, we had a narrowboat that they did the inspection on there because she was worried that they'd see our state of life at home. So did it on the narrowboat. That's perfectly normal, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of blind them, isn't it?
They weren't expecting it.
Narrowboat, like, oh my god, like, it wouldn't even think, why am I on a fucking narrowboat? Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I on a boat?
Yeah.
That was actually a nice boat. I missed that boat. But yeah, she was always one step ahead of them, and they were so, I don't know, not caring that it didn't.
They're there to do a job. Yeah, like they've done this. That's perfect.
Tick a box.
Have they got a map on the wall? Tick. Yeah.
Yeah, just and they never. You weren't assessed for like
There were no social assessment.
no like education assessments.
No.
Be like, just to go for a quick quiz, just to see how your learning's progressing.
Yeah. Can you count to 5? No.
Yeah, fucking 90s was a wild time.
5 had 3 mates 9. You know.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's quick math. That.
Hashtag quick maths. Nice. We are going to hell, guys. We are going to hell.
So you were like,
Or Armageddon.
so yeah, either way. So you're not doing any homeschooling at all.
No,
not in
at
the
all.
slightest.
Yeah, we were working on a farm. There were times where the farm kind of shuttered a bit, or she decided to put it all to fruit. We had a raspberries at one point. The whole fields were raspberries. Raspberries fucking suck.
And we were speaking earlier that, like, I was thinking when you said on another show that obviously you ran a farm and whatever, and I'm thinking, how does this woman know anything about fucking agriculture? But you said you obviously had like an agricultural consultant or someone like that come round and basically be like, this is what you need to do, this is when you need to plant it, and this is where you need to buy the seed from, and this is when you need to X, Y, Z. And she just turned around to you guys and was like, right, that's the plan, go do it.
Basically that. And we fucked up a lot of animals died.
Yeah, but it's
Your children.
your fucking children.
Oh, well, no children died, just the animals.
But yeah, like,
Sorry. But yeah, we are kids, like doing adult
no,
work.
it doesn't. It's That's not your fault.
Like,
That's
put a 7-year-old on a tractor.
yeah, but a 7-year-old in charge or a 7-year-old in charge of livestock. It's like with very fucking minimal guidance or help or anything. I mean, by the sounds of things, I mean, I'm trying not to assume anything, but she knew fuck all about farming.
No, she was a nurse. Like,
Yeah.
She knew a lot about torture. She specialised in it.
Yeah.
She got a degree in everything. No, none of us had come from a farming background. She hadn't, and she grew up in a normal household. So yeah, we kind of made it up as we go along. And probably a lot of animals suffered for it. I remember we had cows on the field. They weren't our cows, but you must have come across it, bloating a cow.
Yeah.
She just thought it would go down.
Oh,
of course,
God, no, suffocate.
the cow died. Right?
Yeah. This is a horrendous way to die.
I can't think of any. Well, actually,
Yeah, well,
RPG, RPG would probably be worse.
Well, I
but,
don't know. Some of the stuff you went through sounds pretty fucking bad, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
You should see how I inflated this cow, mate. But, and to get around it, she just, because that was another farm's cows who were using our land to graze on,
Yeah.
she just buried it. Like, no one found out. Like,
How? I mean, I've got from
big
an
hole. That's how you do it.
Well, from an agricultural standpoint, like I know all the checks and balances that are in place now, like BCMS. Like you can't just like bury a cow and just not tell them that it's dead.
Yeah.
Like they will find out, but like obviously they didn't. And
No one batted an eyelid. They either assumed she had all the checks and everything, or were too scared to make.
It just seems like an
Approach the issue.
endless chain of fuck ups, and it just oversights and fuck ups, and just people not doing their jobs, but like none of it was picked up. None of it.
No.
By the government or any overseeing anyone or any authority or
There were tidbits of people picking it up, but no one was joining. The dot to dot hadn't been joined up. Like we ended up in hospital a few times, as you can imagine. Some of the injuries, especially later on, when you're getting hit with metal bars, when you're going through daily beatings, when you're. She liked shock. So we need to go into some more of the abuse. I know you're looking forward to this. They're salivating, mate. Sorry. We need to go into a bit more of the abuse. So beatings were daily. And I say that like it's nothing. But to us, it literally wasn't.
If you're every single day, 365 a year,
Yeah. If
It
we'd have
becomes the
missed
norm,
a day,
doesn't it?
we would have probably missed it. It was that normal to us to take a beating. And because she was a nurse, she knew what areas scarred. She would very rarely like hit our ribs, hit hands and stuff, even though I'm covered in scars. But she would do all the beatings across the feet. The feet don't scar hardly at all, even though she managed to do it. And we would get a daily beating. That was quite normal for us. If we screamed, that would egg her on a bit. So we learnt not to scream. We learnt to hold it all in. I would just sit there thinking of the dogs, thinking of like water or something. But that would make things worse.
because she wants
wants a reaction.
She wanted the reaction. So very quickly we learnt to fake the reaction. And that worked for a while until she grew
Clocked
wise to
on,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
And then the punishment would get worse, And she, as we grew older, she'd start doing shock tactics. So like coming up behind us,
catching you off guard.
catching us off guard, or if we were asleep, she'd hit us across the head with a cricket bat or something,
It's trying to get in. I'm sat here listening to this, and I'm trying to get inside the mind, but it's like trying to understand madness.
Yeah.
There's
She's not mad.
Yeah, but it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sat there trying to. My brain is going round. I'm sure you've spent probably a long time,
Most
longer.
nights,
Most
nights.
longer than I have, and I'm sat here trying to thinking to what end. But there's no point because it's,
what's the fucking end game here? What's she trying to achieve?
I think did she believe we actually had demons in us? No, I don't.
I can't.
She
no.
was too smart.
Yeah,
She would run rings around barristers in the court case and stuff. She was fucking smart.
switched on.
Yeah. And she always said she should have been embarrassing. I've got no argument with her. She was she played the system for 20 years. fooled everyone, played a really fine line, and made tons of cash, which we still have no idea where it came from.
Obviously, I mean, for how many adoptive/foster children did she have?
So there were 5 of us in total until the car crash. Spoiler.
Yeah, so she would have made it's all right money, isn't it, per child?
It wouldn't have been amazing.
No, but it would have enough to make sense, and so she wouldn't have had to have worked, or did she work?
Oh, not a day.
No.
But
So-
would it be enough to import a 120 grand Chevy from America?
No.
She liked the way it looked.
Definitely not.
And to this day, you still don't know how she made
No
her
idea.
money.
No idea.
And no, they never came out in the court case, or
I think they investigated it, but it never went deep enough to.
they couldn't.
White marble fireplaces she had flown in from Italy for this farmhouse she was doing up.
What?
Yeah. Because the local marble wasn't good enough. Yeah.
But
I remember us driving all the way up to Matlock, which is a shithole near Scotland. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to build that wall.
We might need the defences.
and we're going to make the Scots pay for it.
Referendum too. It is a shithole. I'm sorry if you live there. And there's a large marble merchant up there, and she'd ordered this marble in, and she drove all that way
Just
up
to
there
inspect it? Or...
just to inspect it.
So this farmhouse sounds pretty fucking extravagant.
Well, the thing is, we were doing the labour for it though.
Yeah.
She-
No, I'm not.
So we were digging out because it had some subsidence issues underneath. We were under the floorboards digging out new,
footings.
Footings, yeah.
How old were you?
We'd have been less than 10. So, so there's crawl spaces.
This place is out the fucking way. Yeah, like
Quite out the way, yeah. Now when you look at it, houses have built up slowly towards it. But at the time, if we'd have screamed, no one would have heard us.
Right.
That's the main thing. Because I tried.
Yeah, well,
Anytime.
I'm trying not
Like
to be.
Marilyn Manson could have screamed and no one would have heard him.
This is a podcast. I'm meant to be a host, and I'm trying not to be speechless too often. But yeah,
Like seeing a Land Rover bill, isn't it? Sorry.
It's like seeing a running Land Rover.
dicks.
It's a rare
Most of them coming on the back of trucks. I'm not shitting you either.
They keep the AA going, really, don't they? They really do.
They really do.
Without Land JLR, the AA would just go under.
But
Sorry.
no. Don't apologise, man. I'm just.
You shouldn't be apologising to us.
But you're not living in this house.
No. This is the thing. So when John was in the farmhouse, old man who cropped it, we did live up on the top floor.
Right.
But as soon as he died, we either spent some time in Tewkesbury in that house, or we lived out in a mobile home in the field.
Right. Okay.
So for American viewers, you'd call them like trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the UK, they're kind of called static homes and stuff. I've always called it a mobile home. I don't know why.
Yeah, but it's probably what was that what it was called in the case or whatever? Or like,
it was called mobile home.
Probably why, yeah.
But this mobile home had been sat on the land for a long time. So,
it was old back then.
Yeah, it was old back then.
Single glazing, no insulation.
Floor delaminated.
Yeah.
It's just like an MDF floor that's all fucking wavy as fuck.
That's it. Yeah.
No, don't worry.
No plumbing. No
running water.
No, God, no. We washed under a hose. Like if we were going to wash, we would winter anything. We had that hose pipe. Do you know when you turn on a hose in the middle of winter and you get the ice cubes come out?
Yeah.
That was my morning ablutions.
Obviously you're not allowed in the farmhouse to do any of this.
No. So the only time we were allowed in the farmhouse was to work or to service unit. That sounded terrible, service units. But to look after Eunice, cook meals and things. But we would be watched.
Like
we were being starved all this time.
Obviously it's a place full of food.
So it was a really bad scenario that we were in because we were being starved, but also had access to food.
Oh.
So we would steal.
This is literally...
which would give her an excuse to torture us. So we were in a
This,
catch
like a vicious
this all
circle,
sounds
isn't it?
planned.
Oh God, massively planned.
This is like, by the time saying Eunice's big brain, and she knows what she's asking you to do. She it's almost like making the situation for herself to become angry and abusive, to perpetuate this ongoing cycle.
Yeah. And then when that didn't work, she started overdosing us on drugs and stuff. Like, you know. So do you know a drug called Ritalin?
It's anti-ADHD. Well, it's not anti. It's basically
Anti-ADHD.
it could have too much of it. It causes basically the same symptoms as ADHD.
We were on 4 to 5 times the dose a day.
It's basically meth, isn't it? Speed.
Basically,
It's an amphetamine.
So
It's not like
This
is it
is
still
the one-
licensed in this country?
I don't know if it still is.
I haven't heard it mentioned in
I know
a few years.
they were quite liberal with it back in the day.
They were. I think
They were. Spoiler.
I took most of it. I think they replaced it with Prozac in the end.
Oh, really?
Another great drug. Chapter 2. But this is the one thing she didn't quite get. She was very clued up, but not on medication, which is ironic considering she was a fucking nurse. But she did work in a death hospital.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if you're in palliative care, you know a lot about opioids and whatnot,
This
but
is it.
not so much about,
So she, in her brain, she gave us more to try and suppress us more, but
Yeah.
actually it had the
Opposite effect.
Yeah,
it's basically to make you focus.
we could stay awake for 2 to 3 days.
That's why people take meth and clean their house for 3 days, because
Yes.
it makes you focus.
Oh,
and
is that
what-
how you clean your house?
Oh, I mean,
She will be happy to know. Darling, I'm coming home. Our house will be clean.
I've got no teeth, but it's going to be sparkling. Where's that glass pipe?
That pipe will be clean.
So you were all on like
So she went to multiple private doctors to get us. So I remember driving down to London, and we were all made to dress up nice, and we drove down to London in our V8 Sherpa at the time.
Oh, shag.
Do you remember the Sherpas?
What a unit.
Yeah, 3.5 litre V8. Nice.
Ooh.
I only did about 10 miles an hour. Though. But we all went down to London, and I remember us going to 4 different doctors, all in the centre of London. And I'd never been to London before. And from the country life to that was like amazing. They had this big, I think it's the BT Tower.
yes, yeah.
I remember just staring up at that lit up.
Never
like-
seen anything like it
no,
before in your life.
no, it was fucking amazing. And this day we were treated all normally. We had a McDonald's breakfast, first one in my life. Hash browns, Jesus.
Was that just? I assume that's to kind of sweeten you up, make you all behave.
It worked.
Well, it's going
Yes,
to, though,
yeah.
isn't it?
It still works now.
We got parents evening. Get yourself a muffin and behave yourself, Chris.
Oh God, it's how my wife gets me to do the cleaning. Here's a McMuffin. Yeah, basically it was to control us, and so we went down to London. We saw 4 different doctors. I distinctly remember it, and each one must have given her a
prescription
or a
of-
prescription, and we all had multiple different names as kids.
This
so
are
I guess
private doctors, isn't it?
yeah.
Because private doctors.
Ask
I'm not
those
gonna
questions.
say it, but you're paying them. But
Yes.
that's all I'll say.
You get results.
yeah. You
might not be the results you want.
You get what you pay for.
Yes. So she had access to immense amounts of medication.
And because she's got the prescription for them, she can refill them.
Yeah.
Under
Continuously.
X amount of fake names.
Yeah. And of course, it was all free because we were kids.
Oh.
So we were given so much Ritalin. I remember 2 to 3 days,
Just
like
buzzing.
buzzing. It was incredible.
Well, it's a double-edged sword for her. Number one, you won't
It bit her in the arse.
You won't behave, but you work like fuck.
And I can't remember most of those days.
How long were you on them for?
Probably 3 years.
Good God.
And the damage has been done
Yeah.
to our bodies.
Yeah.
We've definitely got, me and my brother especially, have got permanent damage from that.
I gotta say, you can't be on that amount of medication, that overdose of medication for that long
No.
without having
And
serious
there's the
effects.
side effects of that, horrific vomiting. Horrific vomiting. I remember chunks coming up of our stomachs and stuff. And I'm sure your listeners want to hear that.
Oh no, man! It's just
It looks like that cottage pie you're eating, guys.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Yeah, no, I know exactly the vomit you're on about.
But yeah, so she was aiming to control us from in any way possible, and apart from the drug thing, she got it all correct.
It's terrifying, man. It's like between the starving and the overdosing you on, like, it just hits every facet of your childhood. It's just fucking. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you what your childhood was like, but it just every facet of your childhood was just fucking ruined by this woman, and just like I remember you saying on another show, and I'm not trying to like bring up something, but I thought it was
Just stir the pot,
No, I'm trying not to
Put
do
a
that.
knife in there.
But like you were saying about being starved, and I remember you telling a story about I believe it was you and your sister, literally being locked in a room for 2 weeks. And being for what reason?
So I've been told it was actually longer than that, but I've always said 2 weeks. But Victoria claims it was longer than that. So there was no reason. Well, not that I can remember. I genuinely can't remember what caused that. But I remember it was one of the main bedrooms, what would have been one of the master suites of the house, overlooking big pillars, overlooking the lawns, and being in that heat of summer.
Oh, you're in the top floor.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely cooking.
Absolutely cooking. We were given a glass of water maybe once every couple of days. Yeah.
And you're like,
I drank my sister's piss to survive.
It's a point of survival.
Yeah.
When it comes to like,
And I know we must have been hallucinating.
you dehydrate someone, and starve someone,
because we opened the window, and I was quite happy to climb out because I thought I could climb the side of the building. I remember distinctly thinking, I'm going to go get that Ford Escort. With the Pinto engine.
Yeah. She were too then.
Yes. You know it well. I was going to get that and drive to safety or somewhere. And we must have been hallucinating off because I was probably just led on the floor.
But it's
reminds you of a good night out in Malaga or something, doesn't it?
But it's like survival instinct, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just you're thinking of any way to.
Yeah, we were eating bits of whatever was on the floor. Rat shit. Bits of dust or whatever.
Any nutrition.
Yeah, and of course we were probably dying. And then she'd chuck a piece of bread in, and at first we scrammed that down, and then we realised actually we need to try and ration it. You're fucking like 10 years old.
It's not. That's not you should. It's not something you should be thinking about, and not a child's brain shouldn't have to go through these thought processes.
The worst thing out of that whole instant, though, was her grandparents came. Her parents.
Eunice's parents.
Yeah, Eunice's parents. They came round and they cooked a massive roast on the Rayburn. And for one thing, you could smell it coming up the house. And she had told her parents that we were locked up because we would be misbehaving that day, but she would take a meal up for us.
No.
So she did. She brought this roast dinner up, massive fucking roast dinner, big Yorkshire. It nearly put me off Yorkshire potatoes. Nearly. Yorkshire potatoes? What the fuck? Like they have a special potato in Yorkshire.
They probably do.
Yeah, probably. They're kind of special up there.
Yeah, they're a bit strange.
So she brought this massive platter. I won't call it a platter of food in. It was probably only a tiny little plate.
Yeah, but as you imagine it, yeah.
Yeah. And she opened the door and she said, if any of you touch this, I will fucking end you. So we sat in with that meal. Bear in mind, we're 2 weeks in at this point.
You're literally dying.
Yeah. Watching this food.
For how long? What? Like
a couple hours.
And then she just came up and took it away.
Yeah. We later found out she'd fed that to the dog. So the dog's got better treatment than us. To be fair, it was a cute dog. But... So after that, the next day, we were let out. And she gave us some sandwiches and stuff. And I think she realised how far she'd gone.
She pushed it.
But as soon as we ate, our bodies didn't like it.
No.
And started rejecting it.
Yeah.
It probably took a week or two
Again,
to
I'm
actually to read.
trying not to draw parallels, but the only thing that I can think of is after people were let out the concentration camps, they were limited to how much food they were allowed to eat because you could literally kill someone by feeding them too much.
Yeah.
Because your first instinct is to eat as much as you can and drink as much as you can, and your body just can't give you your stomach
can't
will burst.
process
You
it quick
can't.
enough.
Yeah, quite literally, your organs aren't strong enough to process that amount of food and nutrition. It can literally
That
kill
was
someone.
probably one of the closest times she killed us. I've got like 5 instances.
I thought you were going. There's only 5 other times.
Well, she tried a few times, but she was obsessed with drowning.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. If you don't like water, don't listen. Actually, do listen. Buy our merchandise. No, I'm joking. She was so when you go to a bougie hotel,
Yeah.
like the types you Land Rover guys go to, you roll up and pretend you live on a farm and
Keys in a bowl.
yeah. Oh, that type of farm. Oh, Jesus. I wish I hadn't got that image in my head. But you go the type of roll top
Yeah.
ceramic bath.
I know exactly
you
what
go
you're on
to a
about.
bougie hotel, you get them. We had,
Freestanding.
yeah, nice
gold
little,
legs.
Yeah,
Cast
that's
iron-
it.
Cast
That's
iron
it. That's
feet.
it.
Yeah.
Imagine one of those. Now, imagine it filled with cold water.
Mm.
We're in winter, freezing cold water. And then in the Jehovah's Witnesses, we've got this thing called baptism. I think multiple religions have it.
Yeah.
And they have this big swimming pool in the middle of...
In the middle of the church, you go full body immersion.
absolutely.
Yeah, submersion.
Yeah. She would say she was kind of going to do that to us, except she was going to wash our sins away. But she wouldn't let us back up. So you have to remember, we're weak, we're malnourished. We'd lay on our backs and she would push us under the water.
She's an adult. You're a child.
Yeah.
She's stronger than you.
She was fucking strong as well. When she was...
These Weasley little crackhead motherfuckers, they are strong. Don't underestimate crackhead looking strength. Shit's real.
Florida girl was strong. All
Yeah.
right?
Florida girl. That's done me in.
So we'd lay on our backs and she would push us down. Now, I don't know if you've ever swallowed water in a swimming pool.
Once, but so briefly, I didn't even class it as drowning. Just
Yeah.
that was it.
So we would hold our breath and she knew we were holding our breath. And I can hold my breath for 2 minutes now underwater. It's a skill that really freaks out lifeguards.
Shit, where has he gone?
I'll jump in and do a length underwater and come up the other end just because of these instances as a kid. So I would hold my breath, but eventually your lungs are burning, everything is burning, and you have to release the air in your chest. And what do? You swallow water.
Mm.
She would then hold us for 10 seconds past that. So you are drowning at this point. And then she'd release us.
Like
Now-
you say, this is literally straight out of the CIA's
Yeah.
enhanced
it's-
interrogation handbook.
Yeah. Now, if we were smart, which we weren't the smartest kids, we would have coughed up the water sooner and then got out sooner. But each time we would try and hold our breath.
It's resilience, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
exactly what
And
it is.
quite a lot of it was us versus her.
Mm.
We lost quite a bit, admittedly. Who's laughing now, bitch? Probably her.
So she's like literally nearly killed you drowning.
Multiple times. And yeah, so on my 5 list, quite a few drownings. She was obsessed with hitting us at random times,
Just catching you off guard.
catching us. So as we were slightly getting older, we were getting bigger, not wider. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. We were starting to think of fighting back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her grabbing a bamboo cane once to whip our backs, and I grabbed the bamboo cane. It was probably the most movie-ass moment of my life. Yeah, fucking grab the... Yeah. That day, I think, changed everything. I probably made things worse, actually, by grabbing that. But the resistance was starting to grow in us.
Yeah.
And she was the dark side. We were the resistance. We were starting to fight back. But then she started doing shock tactics. So
Instead of beating you, it was more catch you off guard.
yeah. So she would. Have you got sash windows in any of your farmhouses?
I know what they are. Yeah.
There's big metal rods that go in a sash window. Like
So,
weight.
counterweight.
The counterweights.
Counterweight,
Yeah.
We had fuck tons of those. And I don't know why, because we only had like 20 windows, but we had about 4,000 weights. I don't know where these fuckers came from. Anyway, she would carry one of those round, and then when we weren't looking, would hit us across the back of the heads.
That's an incredibly blunt and heavy. It's
Probably a couple
lump.
of kilo.
It's a solid lump of metal.
Yeah, and it's normally lead, so we could have got lead poisoning for fuck's sake.
I think that's probably the last of your worries at this point.
And look what it's done to me. But yeah, she would or hit you across the back of the knee. Like my knees are fucked now. I've had so many little surgeries to try and repair them from where she would strike across the back of the knees.
Continuously over and over. And
Yeah, and there's only so much the body can take. Like we had broken bones, but we were never taken to hospital. We would set them ourselves and get on with it.
What you kids would like help each other.
So we were our own little medical team. So in many ways we were against each other, being pitted against each other. But each night we would look after each other. We would help each other with
That's
wounds,
amazing.
burns, all sorts. Like the burns were horrific. The burns were fucking horrible. Don't put honey on burns.
Was this? Were you trying to like?
Well, we only had a really old first aid book from John Drake, the guy who owned the farmhouse. It was a really old. Apparently, that's what you used to do.
Manuka honey is meant to be what you put on burns.
Well, yeah, I know that now. Thanks.
Where were you 20 years ago, Reg?
Fucking sat in a Land Rover. Like.
broken down on the side of the road, like
yeah.
got a head gasket.
I've got to stop. I'm sorry. Other vehicles are available, but none of us shit. Maybe a Scania, actually. Sorry, truckies. But yeah, so all the information we had was gained from these books. Like we learned to read and write off these books, like Encyclopedia's 1984. I know all the countries that don't fucking exist now. Africa is totally fucking changed.
Rhodesia?
Ireland? No, I'm joking. Shit.
Oh, God.
Hashtag independence. So we learned everything off these books, and we were bookworms. We would suck up any information we got, any like old newspaper and stuff we'd find.
They're thirsty for knowledge.
Massively. And like there were Eunice would buy old computers and stuff, and I would just sit and tinker with them. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but it's given me an interesting IT now that I know how to turn a computer on. Like
Yeah. And, also, it's just something interesting to do.
And we, don't get me wrong, if we got found to be showing interest in something, we were fucked. So most of this, like I found Eunice had bought one of the siblings who weren't abused a CD player, and they just discarded it. So Classic Chill Out was the album. It's still on Spotify if you find it. Bryan Adams. Oh yes. Anyway, they discarded this CD player because they had so many other toys to play with. So I stole this CD player, and I had one CD, which was Classic Chill Out. And I would sit there, listen to this little portable CD player.
Over and over.
Because that's all I had. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, and we had some access to radio. There was a local farmer who ran a pirate station.
No way.
Right, shag. This is Combine FM.
It was plowing in field FM or something. Like it was something so stupid. Alex, if
you sure that was music?
Alex, if you're listening, your dad was a legend. Alex has got in contact with me multiple times since. But yeah, it was this pirate radio station, and he must have only had about 5 CDs himself, the poor fucker, because it
ran and ran.
Because it was Kate Bush, Michael Jackson, and that was about it.
Every word to Army Dreamers.
Yeah. Wuthering Heights.
Oh, God.
So I would just sit and but eventually I found an AM radio in one of the farmhouses, and I would sit and listen
long
to
range then, yeah.
Yeah, BBC World Service and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'm obsessed with the Cold War now. Like, I'm
Oh, mate.
massively obsessed with the Cold War.
Isn't every bloke in his late 20s?
This
Like,
is
we
it.
love it.
But I was almost fighting for information just as they were, like in the 80s, like because I didn't have access to the internet, I didn't have access to school, so any information I had was just like gold. It was like
Just
nectar.
learning something new.
Yeah. So yeah, I was obsessed, and then the batteries ran out. Fucking bastard.
And that was it. There's no more batteries.
It was about a week of information I had.
God.
So Tony Blair was coming into Parliament.
Coming into power or parliament?
Coming into power. I think.
97 then.
About 97,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was doing these amazing speeches, and I was like, wow.
Education.
Yeah.
And you're there listening to that, like, give me some.
Yeah. So he turned out great, didn't he?
Fucking war criminal.
Have
So
you
you-
seen his wife?
Cherie.
What?
I've
I didn't
seen
even
her.
actually see a picture of her until recently. She is like,
I haven't.
Hanging.
she looks like a badger with TB.
Have you ever seen the Christmas card from Tony Blair? He can't smile.
Oh, God.
So it's some sort of, it's a Merry Christmas from the Blairs. I don't know whether it was posted online or whether it got leaked out.
Someone fucked him over, didn't they?
Well, no, no one fucked with it. It was just a standard Christmas card, but he's not smiling. He's got like this grimace like that.
It's like a fox.
Yeah, like that. And Cherie has got her hand on his chest, and it's like, I can't. There's a tweet, and it was like, every Christmas, I can't help thinking that Tony Blair's Christmas card looks like Cherie's trying to hold hold him back from you in a pub, and it's just he's like this grimacing, and she's got literally. I'll put it up on the Discord or something.
She was a special looking person. I'm not one to judge on looks, because fucking hell, if I look in a mirror, I'm like, fuck. But she was special. But yeah, that information, like, even now, we'll go more into the story in a minute, but even now, I've got this list, which I'll show you afterwards, actually, of films I missed out on.
Oh, so like going back through them.
Yeah, because
That's
there
amazing.
are thousands of like
Just even there's
information I've missed out on.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a whole more than a decade of just
Yeah.
happenings that you never saw.
there you go. Have a look read some of these out. See if anyone agrees.
Oh my god!
So everyone I invite to add these. So all my colleagues have added some. So there are some crackers on there, and a few I've seen. So I've seen Lock, Stock.
You've literally
got- Stock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great film.
Snatch.
All these things you haven't seen. There's Full Metal Jacket.
So there's
Breakfast Club,
loads of-
Fight Club, Goodfellas, Airplane, all Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen. Yes,
That was Billy who wrote that. Billy.
yeah. We're looking for a man, 6'3". We're looking for a man, mustache, 6'3". That's a mighty big mustache.
I actually saw a clip of that the other day.
Happy
He
Gilmore.
recently died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord, mate.
Is Little
It's
Nicky on
just
there?
so many. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Nicky, Happy Gilmore. Like, yeah, mate. This is just
And like all the kids' TV shows, you
grew up with like Dexter's Lab and
All the Looney Tunes stuff,
Pretty much
Tom and Jerry.
the entirety of Cartoon Network in the late
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s.
like none of South Park. I've never watched South Park. And what was it? Dick and Dom. Someone told
Dick
me
and
about
Dom in the
Dom,
bungalow. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
None of this
Or
means
bogeys.
Yeah,
Bogies.
None
Like
of the-
someone tried to explain bogeys to me the other day. I'm like, what the fuck? It was at my Christmas do at work. So there were a few beers involved, and they just
started shouting
run around
bogey.
shouting bogeys.
And you're
I'm
like, what?
and you watched this? Like, yeah, it was the best thing ever.
It was brought up in Parliament. That's how mad it got.
Did what?
Because they thought it was a bad influence on the youth of like our nation, and it was it was a stain on society or
I
something.
guess this was pre-TikTok.
Yeah, actually, looking back, not so bad. Some kids going around shouting a not even rude word.
Rather than going to like hanging places in Japanese
Yeah,
woods and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so much better for our culture.
Yeah.
I
Paul.
so you just alluded to it a minute ago, but you said you had siblings that obviously weren't subject to the abuse that you went through.
Yeah, so there was a girl called Charlotte
Yeah.
who we'll get into in a bit because she died.
Mm.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
But no, she had a horrible death. And there was my younger brother, Caleb. So Caleb is my blood brother.
Yeah.
And it's only recently we've been able to talk about him, really, because he's more open to his name being out there because he wasn't abused at all. literally not abused. But
And he's your blood brother.
Yeah, he's blood brother. So he was had from birth. So we were with Eunice for a few years. And then my mum got pregnant again, but was in a horrific state. Also, how do you get pregnant when you're hospital bound? I don't want to know.
Yeah, thoughts better not thought about. Yeah,
She was 28 stone. Like, how
I don't ask me, drive.
do you find... No,
Bit of talcum powder.
oh, God.
You're terrible people. If you can't find the humour in it.
We'll talk about the funeral later. Best funeral ever. We're going to get shut down, aren't we? So she instantly, the moment he was born, within 2 hours, Eunice had him. So
Within hours.
Within hours.
Good God.
He was born like 11 p.m. By the morning, he was at home. Like,
that's not
right.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know anything about adoption.
Well,
but that doesn't sound
legal.
Yeah, literally, that doesn't sound right.
So, like, his first few days were with Eunice, and also Charlotte, who sadly passed. She was had from birth as well. So the only connection
She was adopted as well. Yeah.
Yeah. The only connection I can really work out is they were both had from birth. So
Yeah, so
Therefore, it's
pure to
Yeah.
yeah.
But
in-
Charlotte
in-
was treated like an angel
yeah.
and was cultured in opera and classic art and
Literally given like over and above.
yeah. Caleb was kept as a toddler all the way to he was how old was he when this all ended? I was 16, so he'd have been 12 when this all ended, and he still couldn't tie his shoelaces, couldn't wipe his own arse without sounding horrible. He'd never done that himself. Couldn't.
And he was
He
12.
Always looked after by
Yeah, well, us. We were made to look after him. So
It's just that the abuse has just so
basically,
many
we were his nannies.
different levels.
It's so many
Yeah.
fucking levels to it. Like, you just think it can't get any worse, but she finds another way to just, like, either physically, mentally, just fucking break you.
And he has his own story in many ways, but because it hasn't got beatings and broken legs and chair legs,
But that will fucking, like,
oh, massively. He has had to relearn to being a young adult. Like,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I think he'll be the first to admit it, that it's gone wrong for him. He's suffered with substance abuse issues. He's only very recently started to sort his life out, and fair play to him. Like, I'll hold my
more
hands up.
power to the guy. 'Cause
Yeah, because
I'll be honest with you, Chris. I think you are the exception here, because I'm not going to say I've led a normal life, but if I met you in the street and didn't know anything about any of this, I would just see you as another guy that's just a normal dude.
I've definitely got lucky.
I'd say lucky, but like it's I don't know whether it's luck or whether it's what, but you seem like an incredibly resilient person, and whether what's happened to you has put you way that it has helped you in that way, I don't know. And I'm not saying that the abuse has helped you at all. I'm not trying to make that. I'm not trying to make that connection.
Sofas.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
better than buy Land Rover, so it's
Dudley Coyle.
He dicks.
he wouldn't be able to fit a sofa in it because he bought the short wheelbase, for fuck's sake.
It's literally the most pointless vehicle. You can't fit.
I struggled to fit a backpack in it earlier.
I can fit more cardboard boxes in my Nissan Note
Than he
than he can in his wanky
Jesus,
Defender.
we're taking the piss out of the Land Rover.
The Nissan Note, I don't actually own. Work owns it. It's just my vehicle.
Okay.
It's the same situation as me. I don't own the car. Work
You
owns it.
chose it.
Yeah, fair point. But mate, I'm not trying to sit here.
I've definitely.
You're an incredible person for what that you've been through, and the person that I have literally spoken to you for a few days and spent the day. Me and Marlon spent the day with you, and you're just an incredibly
Bad shot.
Whoa. I thought I claimed that title
Yeah, I
today.
don't know. It was a tough road.
You did hit 2 shots today. Like, We went through a
replanted
slab
a
of
few
gun-
lead trees.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good, man.
I get your point. I get your point.
Yeah, like,
I definitely say I've got lucky. I've had, some amazing people come into my life who have given me a chance to relearn how to be an adult, and it hasn't fucking worked.
dude, you're an incredible person. Like,
I've definitely got lucky. There have been some amazing people. I look back at, John, my one social worker who grabbed me off bridges when I was trying to commit suicide. He was there for me. He taught me to ride a motorbike as a way of escapism. And I crashed his brand new Honda once.
Oh.
Yeah. There was diesel on the road. He will tell you, what does he say? Exuberance over experience or something.
Yeah.
Right. He had this bike for 3 weeks and I fucking wrecked it. I broke my collarbone at that point as well.
Oh, good.
It's the theme here. But, there have been some amazing people, some very forgiving people, because I haven't always been that nice person when I've been struggling mental health wise. You push people away, don't you? When you're struggling, you tend to push people away. And I've been lucky those people have stood strong for me. And I will try and stand strong for them when they're going through their things now. It's an honor to know these people.
Yeah, and I like you said about your brother going through some stuff, man. I in no way could I even dream to even make any assumptions, because what you guys have been through is just it's abhorrent. The mind boggles. So the fact that any of you have any issues in life is completely within the realms of normality. Because
I don't know how we've survived.
I don't know how you're the person that you are, Chris, going through all this. I think you meth, loads of Ritalin.
yeah. Can you give me a second while I just pop some more pills?
But so it's just such a strange dynamic to have yourself and your sister to go through such horrendous abuse, but not your brother and not your other sister who sadly passed.
It's a mindfuck, because there are times I wanted to kill him.
But you would, as a child. None of this makes any sense. Why is he being treated?
Why are they getting treated like that, and why am I being treated like this?
So there was one summer, I want to say, actually, I can't even remember what year it is.
That's fine.
There was one summer where he was about 8 and she bought him a VW Beetle. Classic 73 Beetle. A nice shape.
Yeah.
Fucking nice car. And it was just for him to abuse and to play in. And it was a runner. It ran well. And I wanted to kill him because I was struggling to eat at that point.
You're being worked to death. You've barely got any food.
He was running around throwing, weirdly, bloody iron bars from windows at the. He was throwing those at the VW Beetle and denting it and finding it hilarious.
And she was just
laughing. And I was like, I would kill to have a gift. I'd kill to have food. This was after a really hard winter. Where we'd lived in that mobile home. We had damp quilts. That's all we had to keep warm. No fireplaces, no heating. My best friend was a rat. And my dog, of course. Jet. Love that Labrador. But yeah, I had rats next to me. And I kept one as a pet.
A pet rat?
Yeah.
What really intelligent creatures. And
then the dog ate him.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at the death of your pet rat. I'm sorry.
He's called Tuppence.
I'm so sorry. The way you phrased it.
And the dog he just had this tail out of his mouth.
Stop making it more humorous. I feel fucking terrible. I shouldn't laugh at any point of this story.
I was horrified.
You would be. You'd be like, the two things that I love, and one of the things I love has killed the other thing I love.
He had a good innings. He survived about 3 weeks with the dog just nuzzling up to him, and then the dog must have just been like, hold on, you let me eat rats out there?
Yeah, it just clicked.
I am a gun dog. No.
I'm sorry. Don't need to laugh.
R.I.P. Tuppence.
Slurped his tail up like spaghetti.
Oh,
He's basically was that. It basically was that.
I've seen
I'm like,
I've seen dogs
you've
eat
seen
rats.
it.
I know exactly how it goes. Yeah, you're like, don't eat that dead rat, and it's like, you're trying to pry it. Yeah, I've been there.
Tuppence died a good death.
Yeah.
But like, we were living with squalor at that point, and we had no working loo in that mobile home, so we'd have to trade probably a couple 100 meters to the main farmhouse, and then there
You're
was
that far away.
yeah. And then there
Christ.
was let me get you a picture of the mobile home. Carry on talking.
I mean,
Let's hear about your story.
I lived in a caravan. It's
hey, we shared something, dude.
yeah, your story trumps mine. I mean, mine was damp.
Did yours have windows?
Yep. You Tory bastard. Mine was slightly damp, but I did have a 3-bar heater, so I'm not
3 bars, you fucking bastard. I am going to hell. I'm really
you
sorry.
fucking oligarch. Yeah, it sort of dwarfs my caravan story somewhat. I always thought I had a tough
we'll hear yours.
It
upbringing.
didn't have any tires on it though, did it?
What, mine?
It is the area where tyres get nicked. I'm just
Yeah, my caravan story pales in comparison. I'll never be able to tell the story about how I grew up in a caravan without just being like, you know what? I can't even finish this story because I'm doing Chris an injustice.
Right, I've got some photos of the. So this was the farmhouse. So I'm showing Exhibit A. So these are like the outboardings. There's the escort.
Are these online at all? Any of these pictures?
I can send them.
Is that
after.
all right if we
Yeah,
put them up on the Discord?
So
Just so
this
people
was the mobile home delaminating.
Oh my god!
So
That's wanked.
it's a bit wanky.
You say a mobile home. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like number one an 80s porter cabin. That's well, it's wood. Is that like a wood?
It was a wood construction.
Yeah, it's not. When you say mobile home, my brain instantly goes to like old
It looks like it's-
old corrugate static.
Yeah. It was a wood one.
That's straight out of like Halloween horror or something.
Yeah.
And that was what you lived in.
That was my home.
Like that.
Are you dissing my home?
Tory cunt.
And a few eaten bus.
So, no windows in it.
So there were some windows. With like the blue bay, the black silo stuff you have on the bales.
Like your pallet wrap kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
We cut off the mobile home in half with that, basically. Taped it all up, stapled it, because half of it didn't have
with
windows.
bale wrap?
Yeah, that's it. So we made ourselves a little pod, and then we did set up a little fireplace in there and stuff where the cooker would have been.
And you like built this as
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
Did Eunice ever come and see it or not? No, you literally.
She never came in there.
No,
No.
really.
No.
She just assumed.
I think she was scared of the mold because there was a mold everywhere. Like.
Well, it would be. I mean, look at the fucking stuff. Oh, God. And I can't.
It was out of warranty, apparently.
I just can't get my fucking head around this. I can't. It's not that I'm saying don't believe you. This is just, you get to a point where it just,
Yeah.
your brain can't. It's so much. It's so much, man. I mean, I'm not.
We did eventually get a plug.
Oh, what a
'Cause-
power?
Yeah,
Like a
So one of the barns behind it
yeah,
had power to it.
yeah.
So
The amateur electrician.
I fucking electrocuted myself so badly doing this because that was proper power. Like it was
It's
not
probably
like
it's probably 3-phase.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I just fucking shoved cables in and shit and ran to a plug. So we did eventually manage to plug in a fan heater, but that nearly burnt the place down once.
Yeah. Did she know about this?
No,
No,
God, no.
I'm
We
gonna
were doing loads of shit like this on the side.
You have to. It's just survival.
Yeah. And there was a river that went along the bottom of one of the fields, and I would go fishing that. And we would never been told how to fish or anything,
Just
but
work it out.
just worked it out, like, and put the dog on the end of a line and that. Joking.
Go fetch.
Go big catfish over. Like. No, but we learned to live off the land. Like, I would quite happily skin a rabbit. Like, we learned to live off the land. Like, that's all we could do.
But if you hadn't have done that, then you.
We would have died, especially in the winters. We would have fucking died. Weirdly. This is a horrible story. Don't listen to this. But weirdly, there were some deer that used to cross the field,
Yeah.
and I thought it'd be a really great idea to try and kill a deer.
You would, if you're thinking about it like that back then, if it's like survival, you're thinking the amount of meat on that animal.
Yeah. But I thought in my infancy that I could stab it to death. Not use the shotguns we had at the farm, like just.
I think a shotgun. You might wing it slightly. You injure it. Then if
Yeah.
you
Anyway, so
might bring it
I
down.
thought it'd be a great idea to creep into the grass after this deer.
No way! You stalked a fucking deer with a knife. No, I'm not.
Well, okay, so
mate, I'm not belittling this or being like, "Oh my god."
That sounds really action packed. But then I had 5 angry deer charge at me.
Oh my! Did you get any deer?
No.
No venison for Chris.
In my head, I had this.
Yeah,
I got this.
In reality, they were probably 600 meters up the field. I could have done with actually some grass to stop them. But actually, no, my happiest memories were actually in the summer because the deer graze in the morning, like just when
when the sun's coming up.
Laying in the field with Jet on my lap, because I would quite often, because that mobile home was so damp, so I would go live in the field in the summer.
The dryer.
Yeah, and like especially
Warm, it's dry.
fucking beautiful, mate. Like the stars, like because there's no light pollution out there at all. Incredible, and I would just sit and watch these deer go across the field and dream of killing them. But
Knife in hand.
yeah.
One
Dog
day.
like, don't do it. So there were some good times.
Oh, mate,
My wife's going to kill me for saying killing deer.
I just so
Oh
funny.
dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
All right, we're gonna
Pause.
we're gonna cut to a break. We're probably gonna call this episode. We're probably gonna call this part 1, and you'll have to listen in next week for part 2.
Thanks, Oz.
Yeah. Love you, bye.